I realized I wasn't done talking about Christmas. um, yeah, I was thinking about as a child how much I really, really hated Christmas, and thought it might be insightful for some parents to hear that a little bit about that. Um, One of the things, as a parent that you try to instill in your children is a sense of gratitude and appreciation. And I think that's healthy. Also, when the Christmas present, the opening of presents thing was always, I dreaded it. I didn't like it at all. I felt like I was disappointing the adults in my life because there was so much overwhelm. Like at my dad's house, he had six brothers and sisters. He's the oldest, so there'd be a ton of people in his parents' apartment, all opening presents at the same time and making noise and drinking alcohol and playing poker and teasing the way big families tease, and just loud. It was just very, very, very loud. And then occasionally someone, a distant relative, would call on the phone. Often someone I'd never met before, and the phone would get passed around. And it would get handed to me. So basically, what's expected is small talk. I'm still not good at small talk. I'm better at it, but I definitely, as a child, I didn't understand why I was being asked to do that. It was uncomfortable for me. I couldn't hear what was happening on the phone, what was being asked of me, because everything was so loud and raucous, and it didn't feel safe. And then for getting presents of my own, it was either go say thank you, give a hug and a kiss. Which when I'm in overwhelm, I don't want to physically touch anyone. So I understood that it wasn't an option to not give a hug. I think we do better with that now than we did back in the 80s. So I would just dissociate from my body so that I didn't have to feel this sense of, I'm grateful, but I can't get to it because I'm too anxious, nervous, and confused. So yeah, just another thing would be like, I've gotten better, but I would have very organic facial responses. So, for instance, I had an aunt that lived out of state that sent a present one Christmas when I was maybe 8 or 10, and it was a board game. And I guess my face did something funny when I opened it up because I got pulled into another room and it was discussed. And in my head, it's like, well, this aunt that I've met once or twice sent a board game. I'm an only child. I don't have friends. My parents both work. Who am I playing this with? So it made me sad to get a board game. Not because of the board game, but because of the implications of not being able to have a quote unquote normal experience with it. So yeah, that masking is hard to do when you're in sensory overwhelm. So I wasn't on my best behavior because my best behavior wasn't accessible to me. Best behavior meaning gracious, quiet, kind, compliant. Basically, the fawn response of the nervous system: freeze, fawn, fight, flight. So yeah, just the season with your kiddos. Keep in mind the sensory stimulation going on, even with your adults. If I was coming to your house for Christmas, allow breaks. I remember I had an uncle, he's passed, who was also a little neurodivergent, and he was great about, on Christmas Day, at some point he would ask me if I wanted to go for a walk. I think it was too loud for him too, but it was such a relief when we would get out of the apartment and just walk around, even for just like, I don't know, it was never a long walk. We never even got in the car to go anywhere. Well, when I got older, he would take me to go play pool or those sorts of things. But yeah, just keep in mind, it's not necessarily, if your child's having a hard time, you aren't doing anything wrong. The situation is just difficult. It does not, the festivities involved in a big community Christmas do not pair well with sensory issues, period. And also social norms. There's a lot of expected social norms that are different around the Christmas holidays, like that you have to hug everybody. So yeah, that was, I wanted to share that too before I got too much off the Christmas topic. So I hope that's helpful. Again, feel free to ask questions in the comments and I will reply.